How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Mullen. And I must say, it was an interesting day. We tested near the 52-week low, plus on top of that, we closed at 56 cents. If you remember what I said in my previous videos, if we break through 60 cents, we want to see support coming in between 55 and 57, and we close right in the middle. So of course, we want to know, what does this stock look like going into next week? I will talk about that, but I just want to remind you, if you're new to this channel, we do have timestamps down below inside the description. We're going to be taking a look at the charts, we're going to be taking a look at the short interest, and then when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts. So let's get into those videos right now. So we're going to take a look at the chart from Mullen. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at 56 cents, being down 7.57%. On the low, it tested 52 cents, and then on the high, testing 63 cents. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 346.293 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 121.025 million shares. So we had well above the average in regards to volume, and we had a pullback in the stock. Remember what I've been saying for a couple days now? If we did decide to break through 60 cents, then we could find support around 55 to 57. And look, we closed at 56, so right in the middle. Let's take a look at the chart. So when we see our daily chart here, yes, we did test a low at 52 cents. That was not shocking whatsoever. But at the same time, we did see a high at 63 cents. Unfortunately, this is not a good setup in a technical sense. Why? Because we ended up forming a lower low and as well as a lower high. So we want to see momentum. So right now inside of the after hours, it's at 56 cents. So going into next week, I'd want to see if Mullen can make some sort of a move to go to at least 63 cents. And this is where we have our 9 EMA. So you want to make sure you add that to your homework. Another level that you want to watch is right here at the 21 EMA, which is around 70 cents. If Mullen can revisit these levels, then we could see if we can go back to break that 79-cent level that we tested right here back on September the 8th. So that's an area you're going to want to watch. If we decide to pull back further from 56 cents, then of course that's where we can hit that 52-week low on the dot at 52 cents. Remember, the 52-week low that we saw today was 52.81. And if we decide to break through these levels, then we could see Mullen trading at 50 cents. And if it breaks through 50 cents, that's where, you know what, we really don't know how low this stock could go because we don't have any support levels to come in from there. But if I was going to make an estimation, then I'd be looking for support to come in around 47 cents. Again, this is only if this bearish pattern decides to continue. Let's take a look at the short interest. So we're going to take a look at the recent short interest information from Mullen. So the off exchange short volume ratio is at 49.05%, and then for the off exchange short volume, it is just over 64.62 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 4.8 million, updated 27 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 16.02%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 7th, it is at 40.72. And then for the close of the 8th, being at 49.05. So that has jumped up quite a bit. And then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float, being at 15.24%, Mullen does continue to have short squeeze potential. So for my final thoughts on Mullen when it comes to the price action, so since we tested near the 52-week low on the Friday, which is today, going into next week, you don't want to see that again. But if we do decide to break through it, then we want to see strength right at 50 cents. And if we don't have strength at 50 cents, of course, we don't know what the next area of support is going to be. So it can come down to 47 or even 44. So you want to make sure that you add that to your homework. As far as for a move to the upside to get it out of this weak bear trend that it's in, then you want to see a move going back to at least a 70-cent range. Remember, we saw a recent high around 79. So if we get a break above that level, it definitely does look good for the overall stock. And I think it would give the bulls a lot more confidence since we have been dealing with a good amount of selling pressure. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, Mullen does continue to have short squeeze potential. But do keep in mind, in order for this stock to move, we need to have that buying pressure coming into the play. And it's very noticeable
Every single time that we have a catalyst, that is when we get that buying pressure. So we have to look forward to the end of the month, which you guys know about, the EV tour. So another point that I also want to talk about is the acquisition. So many people are saying, well, you know what, this is a bad thing. Mullen shouldn't have done it. And I completely disagree with that. And the main reason behind it, they're focused on growing the business. So if you are a trader, you should not care about this whatsoever. Your job is to trade the chart. And if you are an investor and you believe in the long-term prospects, then this shouldn't be a problem to you whatsoever. So you need to figure out what category you fit in and then make a decision that is right for you as far as your position. Another point that I want to bring up, there's many people saying that, you know what, Mullen did get a notice about compliance. So they are trading under $1. So a lot of people are saying there's a potential chance that Mullen can have a reverse stock split. And you know what? This is on the table. I'm not going to ignore it, and I'm not going to be like, well, you know what? There's no way that they're going to do that. It is a possibility, and I feel like that is something that you need to be aware of, especially if you have a sizable position in this play. Please don't ignore it. Please don't be naive. You want to make sure you know as much information as possible, because at the end of the day, we're in the stock market to make some money, not lose money. And we also have to take into consideration, we saw a lot of strength in the overall markets today. We saw strength in the small and as well as the mid cap plays, but Mullen pulled back. So what we want to see going into next week, we want to see it gain some momentum, just like many stocks did today on the Friday. If we don't get that momentum, that's where we get those moves to the downside. And again, and like I always say, I want you guys to be prepared for that. Don't be surprised. So hope you found this video helpful, and I hope you enjoy your weekend, and let's see how Mullen performs going into Monday. We'll talk soon.